in practice this week, and for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line. In pregame, get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Looking to throw. Holloway. That's complete to the tight end Sample. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 1st down, Holloway. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the ready. Mike's by 4. You got nothing today.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
That's it. That's it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Jackson now. His throw incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's third down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jenkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 22, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Pushing his way inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Fresno. Tight dog. Wiley, 64, weak. Big rip.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
I got you. Ready?
Now a handoff looking right. And an alley to run. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a give right side. Stevenson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bengals, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.